All right, we got our barn door here. Comes with the hardware included. This is a Ren 9 barn door. So the first step is determining your height. So according to the instructions, it says to measure the door, add 1 3/4. Also tells you to see if your floor is level. So our floor is pretty level. I checked that, it's level enough. I got, right now it's just concrete, so I grabbed a piece of vinyl and put it on the ground, which is gonna be my finish height eventually. I put that down, tells you to measure up door height plus 1 3/4, so I did that. And then it tells you to measure from 1.5 inches in off the jamb side and line it up with that hole. I did that. After that, we measure 40 inches over, and we level a line across. And that will be the center hole for our track that we have right here. So you see our track here. Also, you got to determine which way the door opens. So we determined that it's going to open to the left because that's where our wall is. That's obviously important. So you see on our hardware track here, there is 5 holes. Obviously, the third one in, this is our center, which from our 1.5 inch mark and our height mark, that's going to be our center hole. And we already have the line drawn. So each hole is going to line up with that line, and then we're going to drill. Now we have shiplap here. We don't really have to worry about finding studs or whatever. They do give you anchors, but I will tell you on most doorway openings, there should be a stud within 1.5 inches from your jamb, or 2 1/4 from your jamb, at least. So regardless, we'll be able to hit a stud going up, or if there's a header here. You can also grab a stud finder and try to find the studs, but these give you pre-drilled holes, so it doesn't matter if you find stud. If you find a stud here, it doesn't matter because your hole is here, unless you really want to go drill a hole, because then it's going to look like crap. So just stay with your holes. They have anchors. If you're before you install, if you're sheetrocking or something like that, you can always put block it out here, put headers up here, so you know you're going to hit something. Or if you really want, you can take a 1x4 pre-primed or pre-painted, whatever you want, put it up here, nail that to the studs, then screw this to that header board. You can do either or. So, but we have the shiplap, we don't really have to do that. So we'll line this up. This is obviously going to take 2 people. It's a lot easier to line up 2 people. We'll pre-drill our holes, and then we'll anchor this to the wall, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got our rail guide set up on the wall, real nice and level. Just be careful, don't tighten too much, because if you have sheetrock or whatever up there, you can really put an impression on it. But it does need to be decently tight. Now we're going to put our hardware on. This door comes with pre-drilled holes at the top of the door. If it does not, you got to make sure which side's the top and which side's the bottom. If you see the notch down there, that's the bottom. And then we're going to determine which side we want our door facing out. So this is, the one side's frosted, the one side's like a clean glass. I think I want frosted facing out towards the living room. I think that looks a little bit better.
I personally disagree, but yeah, it's Mike's house, so he gets to make the call.
There you go. I'm the genius here. So now we're gonna put our hardware on. It says, we have a nut, a bolt, and 2 washers. So 1 washer's gonna go on this side of the bolt, like so, and then this washer and capping bolt's gonna go on the back side. So they want us facing this wheel guide towards the track. So they got us these nice pre-drilled holes. That's beautiful. Get it in there, in the hole. It's in the hole. And then get it started.
Do you need that adjustable?
Yeah, I mean, we'll use an adjustable. If you have a socket or an open-end wrench you can use, but I don't have all them fancy tools. I don't have time to find all them fancy tools. This will work fine. Get your next hole. Don't go tighten the one too much until you get your next hole in there, like swimwear. Pop it through. Bing, bang, boom. They do have a template so you don't scratch the door or something. I ain't using that, so I need another adjustable. You have one to hold back on, one to tighten with, yeah. obviously, I don't need to make sure.
This thing's greasy as hell.
Obviously, I don't need to make sure. Yeah, go get me another one.
Plumber's adjustables are nasty. This is a big John. Might be too big.
So obviously, if there wasn't pre-drilled holes, I would have to make sure this piece is vertical, you know, nice and level vertically. But there's the pre-drilled holes, so I don't even care. Hold back on the one. You don't really have to go tightening this too much. I mean, you're just securing it on there. It ain't really gonna go nowhere. They should give you locking washers on this, but why would they do that? So obviously this step's pretty self-explanatory. Do this up here, do this down there, and then we'll go from there. All right, first of all, we messed up. They wanted this finished nut on the front side. So whatever, if you really care that much.
Flipped it back.
We just flipped the nuts around. Now we're on to the anti-jump blocks. They said to measure, this is on the top of the door. They said to measure from the edge of the door 6 inches, and then from the front of the door 1/2 inch. Pre-drill an 1/8 inch hole, and then just screw your jump blocks on. This just stops the door from coming off the rail and falling on your face. So that's all that is.
This is your other pilot hole right here?
Yeah. So I got a pilot hole. You get it started. They want these in a certain position so the fat part's looking this way of the screw. So make sure you line that correctly. All right, now that we got our anti-jump blocks on, we're gonna mount the door on the track. When you put these type of track doors on, you have to angle the bottom side out and hook it on and then swing it down on. So I'll try to do it myself real quick. Kind of heavy because it's a solid core.
So he's angling the door out like that. And you try to line up the tracks.
There we go. So you see it's in the track now. Now I can slide it real nice and smooth. And then we'll put the stop guard on the next video so it doesn't fall off the track. All right, we're gonna put our door stops on. Position your door to where you want it to stop at. Make sure it doesn't go off the side rails like I already did. We're gonna stop it right at the edge of the jamb so you can get in without hitting the door. We're gonna slide our door stop on with the Allen keys facing up. We're gonna slide it until it hits the door where it's meant to stop. We're gonna move our door out of the way. And then we'll tighten our Allen keys.
I don't know if you can see, but there's these little bumpers.
This is on there nice and tight.
That's what
so you
bumps up
see
against the door there.
it stops it there. Still plenty of opening there. And then, where's that other one?
I got
it. And then see, on this side, we'll just slide it over to where we want it to stop. Obviously, it's personal preference. But I'm gonna stop it right where it meets the edge of this trim. So that's my personal preference. Slide this bad boy on to where you want it to stop. Slide the door out of your way. Tighten them up, and that's how you install your door stops. All right, we're here. We're gonna put the door handle on. In the instructions, it says measure up 38 inches from the door, but I measure 38 from the floor. I like that better. Once you get your height for the bottom hole, then you want to get your width for this opening, which is 3 3/4, which divided by 2 is 1 7/8 with our height, and that's just our center hole. You got to be careful. This screw is not meant to go all the way through the door. So when you put a pilot hole in, do not go all the way through the door. So we got our first hole ready to go. I'm going to use a Phillips head screwdriver because I don't feel like stripping the black paint on it. It'll look like junk. We're going to get this pretty tight. All right, so that's pretty tight to where it's going to stay, but not super tight to where I can't move it. I'm going to put a level on it. Well, don't put a level on it, actually, now that I think about it. Just measure your distance again. Because depending on how level your door is, your handle might look crooked if your door isn't level and you level a handle. So I'm just going to measure my distance.
1 7/8 again.
1 7/8. We're going to double check here. 1 7/8. 1 7/8. Grab our pilot bit. Like I said, do not go through the freaking door. So, seems like it was far enough for me. Get this bad boy going, and then just keep tightening it up until the handle is nice and snug. What?
Snug.
And that's nice and snug, and that's it for the handle. All right, we're gonna put our little slide track thing on to keep it against the wall. Either you have this option against the wall, or you have the option where it mounts to the floor and slides in, but it's a concrete floor. I don't have my finished floor down. I didn't take the right measurement for the finished floor and all that jazz, so we're just gonna go with the slide wall option. So when you mount the slide wall option, obviously you wanna put it to where when the door's closed, it's still on the slide. It's
Still on the track.
still on the track thing. When the door's open, it's still on the track. So we line that up perfectly. Get our height. We'll drop it down a hair. Out that bad boy. Get the one started. There's 2 screw holes you can do here. Make sure it's nice and plumb before you put your second screw in. Then you let go of the door. It's pretty dang close, works for me. And then you get this part, throw it in the holes.
So there's like,
Yeah, these things, the way this works, when you put the screw in, it kind of expands the inserted part, stops it from moving. I don't personally put it too tight to the door because then it slides against it all the time.
you just want it there to guide it.
Yeah. And now it won't come off, and it'll keep it nice and plumb. All right, we're all done our barn door. Looks fabulous. Open it up with a nice stop on it. Close with a nice stop on it. We'll have to do some touch-up paint up there. We always have to do touch-up paint because I made too many marks, but other than that, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
That's the laundry room. So
Give us a thumbs up, Mike.